1.
I'm sometimes asked what I think is the most important classroom tip for teachers, and my answer is usually this idea of not rubber stamping. I don't know if you know what I mean by rubber stamping. It's when a student says something and immediately the teacher says yes or good or excellent, like putting a rubber stamp of approval on what the student said. And if the teacher can find a way simply to restrain themselves, to withhold that rubber stamp of approval, maybe just for 5 seconds or 20 seconds, then that keeps open the possibility of other students in the classroom saying something or responding or arguing, or maybe somebody saying, no, I think I've got a different answer. So simply withholding that stamp of teacher approval, I think that's the single thing that would make the biggest difference to lots of classes.
2.
Whether we like it or not, English is a world language. It's spoken by a significant number of people on this planet. And in the world we live in, a world of conflict and a world of doubt and difficulty, the more people can speak to each other and communicate with each other, the better. And for me, that's a sort of profound importance for teaching English. It just allows more people to talk to each other. It's as simple as that.
3.
I read languages at university, and then I went on to do a certificate in education in teaching generally, and what I hoped to do eventually was classroom teaching. But when I went into a school in Israel where I'd gone to live, and they said to me, oh, you speak English and you're a teacher, you can be an English teacher. And I became an English teacher, and I became quite good at it, and I got stuck there, and here I am still today, 40 years on, so that's the story.
4.
Another example is present perfect continuous, which is such a weird and exotic structure. But if we teach it for complaining, for example, like I've been waiting for you for ages, where were you? Or I've been phoning and phoning all day, I was really worried. Or we've been doing business for 20 years and this is the first time this has ever happened, I'm so disappointed. I think that learners at any level could see, oh, this is really useful, I can use it.
5.
Some students are reluctant to use English in the classroom because they're afraid of making a mistake and perhaps being criticized by the teacher or embarrassed in front of their classmates. What you can do in this case is to try to make your classroom a very, very safe place to make mistakes. Encourage students to experiment. Let them know that a mistake or an error is not the end of the world. I recently visited a program where there was a poster on the wall that said, "The expert in anything was once a beginner." If you can let your students know that it's okay to make mistakes, that your classroom is a safe place, hopefully this will motivate them to speak more English.